Race of the week takes us to Big Sandy and Belmont Park for the Grade 2 Suburban Handicap. This is one of 6 races, stakes races on the Belmont card. Grade 2, and it's 10 furlongs, $500,000 purse. One of the few older races at 10 furlongs and a chance to get a couple of former Grade 1 winners into this field. First horse at the rail is Street Babe. This horse, my main question with him is distance. He has run a total of only 5 lifetime races. Didn't break his maiden, broke his maiden actually in his first start, then had a layoff, and then came back and ran a big race at 21-1 at the fairgrounds, but has really regressed in his last 2 races, moving up in class, losing by 15 lengths and 23 lengths. No real trip troubles in those 2 races, and Joel Rosario continues to ride. He's ridden him in 4 of the 5 races. Not a lot to really endorse him, and as a 4-year-old gelding, just thinking he's biting off a little bit more than he can maybe chew in this race. Coach Inge is a horse on the rise, the son of Big Brown. Picked up a couple of back-to-back victories, an allowance race, picked up a 108 speed figure. Then the last time he ran a 107 on the Brooklyn Stakes. That was a 227, went 203 for the mile and a quarter and 113.4. I have a feeling the fractions will be a little bit faster than that in this race, especially with Street Babe in there. So unless he can get by with the 49-1 and 113-4, I think he's going to get other pressure and may not look so tough on the front end. It also is his first Grade 1 race. Does have good current sharp form, and distance should not be a problem on the cutback from the mile-and-a-half distance. Back classer My Loot has a new trainer, used to be trained by Tom Amos. Todd Pletcher now trains. Does have some back class, if you notice. Ran in the Kentucky Derby, ran 5th, ran 3rd in the Preakness Stakes to Oxbow a couple of years back. Still in training. Second race off a layoff. Did get a 107 speed figure in his comeback race. That was a much easier field than what he's facing here. It was also a 6-horse field. Faces roughly the field of the same size, but more proven speed with Coach Inge. Street Babe also capable of showing speed for the first 7 furlongs. If you did notice, he does do his best running coming from behind, so definitely a threat to maybe close out the exacta. Not my top pick in this race, but I do like him, and I do think there is some room for improvement. Javier Castellano chooses to ride and should get a good trip and should close into this race. Neck and Neck is another horse that does like to win, 5 wins and 25 starts, but he does have 4 seconds and 4 thirds, won over $800,000, kind of cycling into form. Ran a mid-race move in the last race against Coach Inge, and now he cuts back to 10 furlongs. So he could be right distance, right place, right time, as he's kind of ran at Tampa Bay, then he ran at Keeneland, and then at Belmont in his last race. I have a feeling he's going to run a good race, maybe sitting closer to the rail and get a little bit more patient ride this time from Leperoux, trying to make his move on the turn. FNX, throw out that last race. I put a complete line through it, bolted on the turn. He was bet down to 3-1 that day, and this is one of those horses that he'll now rise up in odds, even though if you throw out that last race, he fits on speed. If you notice, he had a 105, a 109, a 100, a 104, and even a 100 back here. That 109 puts him on par with Tonalist, who will probably be the favorite in the race. So I think FNX has a good shot to win, most likely to run second to the big boy here, Tonalist. He's a 2-time Grade 1 winner. He won the Jockey Club Gold Cup. He also won the Belmont Stakes last year. His record at Belmont, 4 wins in 5 starts and a second, and he also lifetime 5 of 11 on the victory end. So definitely a tough horse in this race. 3rd off a layoff, stretching back out in distance, and he's the class of the race, a 2-time Grade 1 winner. John Velasquez rides, and I see him sitting maybe 3rd or 4th early, and really one of the few horses that should love the 10 furlongs. Class of the race, speed of the race. He's got a 108 and a 107, but as you notice, FNX does have that 109 and a 105, so he could apply a little bit of pressure here. So lots of ways you can go in this race. I think Street Babe's a little outclassed and not in current form. My Loot is using this second race off the comeback. I think he'll kind of peak in his next race. So I'm going Tonalist for the win. I think he'll improve to 6-12, and he's definitely the class of the field. And I'm going to round out that exacta on the Stars and Stripes Suburban Handicap here with FNX running second. So Tonalist, my top selection in the Grade 2 Suburban Handicap.